And now, marine weather around Alaska.
And for tomorrow, we got low pressure bringing wet weather in across the Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet, North Gulf Coast, and showers with a trough over the Panhandle. Next system down here to the south tracks up northwestward off the coast to about roughly this location Monday afternoon. So look for strong winds associated with that along the coast with more heavy rain and over the southeast coastal areas. Out to the west, next system pushes good gale force winds in toward the central Aleutians and the western Bering during the day on Monday. And for the coastal water forecast there on the south coast, southwest winds 20 to 25 knots tomorrow, 12-foot seas. Central coast, southwest 15, seas around 10 feet. North coast, southeast 15, with seas around 10 feet. Lynn Canal, Glacier Bay, Stevens Passage, south winds at 15 knots. Clarence Strait, south winds 20 knots, seas 9 feet. Then we've got gale warnings for Clarence Strait on Monday. South winds 35 knots with 16-foot seas. Small craft advisories, Lynn Canal, Stevens Passage. Southeast 25 to 30 knots with 5-foot seas. In the south coast, south to southwest winds 30 knots and those seas up to 16 feet. And for the north coast here, 20 to 35 knot winds out of the south and east with seas 9 to 14 feet. Prince William Sound tomorrow, east winds at 15 knots, east-southeast at 20 for the eastern North Gulf Coast, north at 15 for the western coast, and Kamishak Bay, Barren Islands, west winds 20 knots, Cook Inlet, north wind just 10 to 15 knots. Then for the day on Monday, Cook Inlet, north winds 15 knots here for the northern areas, south of the Forelands, northwest 25 knots. Gale warnings for Kamishak Bay and the Barren Islands, west-northwesterlies at 35 knots there with 8 to 10-foot seas. Prince William Sound, light north breeze at 10 knots, north of 15 for the eastern North Gulf Coast, and around 20 knots here south of Resurrection Bay. And for Kodiak Island, west winds 20 to 25 knots for Sunday, northwest 25 for Bristol Bay, northwest 35 with higher gusts to 45 knots for the Alaska Peninsula. And then for Monday, for the Alaska Peninsula, winds start to come down. West-northwest at 25 to 30 knots, northwest 30 for Bristol Bay, and northwest winds at 25 to 30 knots there blowing across Kodiak Island. And for the western Aleutians, we've got from Kiska, well actually from Adak westward, west winds 10 to 15 knots, Adak and Atka, west at 20 knots. And for the eastern Aleutians, northwest winds 25 to 30 knots with seas running 6 to 10 feet. And then on Monday, with that next big storm coming into the west, we've got full gales coming along with it. West of Adak to Shemya, south winds 35 to 45 knots with seas up to 20 feet. South winds increasing to 40 knots for Adak and Atka with seas building to 13 feet. And for the eastern Aleutians, small craft advisories and even some gales for west-southwest winds 30 to 35 knots, seas building 6 to 12 feet. And for the southwest coast tomorrow, winds northwest 25 knots. St. Lawrence Island, winds northwest 25 knots. For the Pribilof Islands, winds northwest 25 knots, northwest at 20 for St. Matthew Island, and north 15 for Norton Sound. For Monday, Norton Sound, north 15, northwest 15 knots for St. Lawrence Island and the Yukon Delta coast, southwest 20 for St. Matthew Island, southwest 25 for the Pribilofs, and northwest 25 knots for the Kuskokwim Delta coast. Up along the central and eastern Arctic coastal areas there, eastern Beaufort Sea coast, west winds 15 knots, seas 4 to 5 feet, northwest at 10 with 5-foot seas on the western coast. And the Chukchi Sea, north winds 20 to 25 knots with seas 4 to 6 feet. And for Monday, Chukchi Sea, northwest wind 15 knots, west at 15 for the western Arctic coast. Central coast, west at about 20 with 4-foot seas, and west-southwest at 15 there for the eastern Beaufort Sea.